Hello students, you are welcome to this lesson. I hope you enjoyed our first lesson where we discussed the meaning of bookkeeping and accounting and the difference between bookkeeping and accounting, and also accounting as an information system. Today's lesson will focus on historical perspectives on accounting. At the end of the lesson, you are going to have an understanding of origin of accounting, and you should be able to discuss better the history of accounting. Enjoy your lecture. Thank you.
Now on an overview of lesson, we have objectives of the lesson, history of accounting, questions and answers, summary and conclusion. I would like to start with objectives of the lesson. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to discuss the history of accounting and demonstrate an understanding of the history of accounting. History of accounting. Recording business transactions is as old as civilization itself, and majority of such recordings were from the Middle East. They relied on leasing expenditure on sheep and cattle, which goes with attendant error of calculation. Modern bookkeeping was developed in 1494 by an Italian monk and mathematician known as Luca Pacioli. Pacioli, I want to bring this to you that people refer to him. If you look at the picture that I put there, the portrait, Pacioli happens to be, like I've mentioned, is a monk, a priest for that matter. When he prepared a book, a note, in this book, he came up with the idea that the book he prepared should cover something in accounting. And on that note, that explains why he was the first to provide a complete description of the double entry system. And this was contained in his book called Summa de Arithmetica, Geometria, Proportioni et Proportionalita, which means everything about arithmetic, geometry, and proportion. The book contained a section on double entry accounting called Particularis de Computis et Scripturalis, meaning details of calculation and reckoning. The section was later separately published in 1504 under the title Lasu Perfecta de Mercanti, meaning the perfect school of merchants. However, as economic activities moved from feudal system to agriculture and then to the industrial revolution, accounting adapted to the evolving needs of the society. How do I mean with all this? Luca Pacioli, as we mentioned, being the father of modern day accounting, in the sense that he was the one that first came up with the paper of something written down that we are having as a guide today in the name of double entry. I'm saying clearly that accounting or recording, let's use the word recording, as old as human being. And people from the East in those days, like we said earlier, they've been using either sheep, animals, also those things to record their transactions. You see them recording their purchases in form of plus to whatever they have, and the sales they made, they use a sign, minus sign, to show that they have had a sales. And on that note, they were reading using the old method, which could not account properly. And when Luca Pacioli came with something known as double entry, as I said, it was not a book in the initial stage in 1494. It was in 1504 when he now had to publish that section of his book that accounted for an aspect of bookkeeping. And that book that came up in 1504 is referred to the perfect school of merchants. And I can say clearly that accounted for activities, and thereafter till date quite a number of rules standard has been evolved to meet up to modern day accounting needs of the society.
Having listened to this lecture, let's now take one or two questions. So on my left,
My name is Odlri.
and on my right,
My name is Yusuf.
now let's take the first question from Sheon. Sheon, ask your question.
Sir, can you tell us where the accounting originates from?
Well, like I said earlier in the lecture, accounting originated from the Middle East, meaning that anything about accounting started from the Middle East. The people of those days, you see them recording their transaction on the animal skin, such as sheep, cow, cattle, and whatever they are using there. So transactions, day-to-day transactions and expenditures incurred were being written on the skin of the animals, and they were able to account for that. Each time they have sales, it will be recorded as minus from what they have. Each time they have a purchases, it will be recorded as a plus, and they were able to give account for what they have. That then note shows that before we now have the concept of the word accounting we are benefiting today. The people of those days have been recording their transactions in what I said earlier, the animal skins. On that note, one can then say accounting originated from the Middle East. Before we now have the modern accounting, all the stages that follow, that we have quite a number of people that play the role, such as Pacioli and the rest like that. I think what I've said, you understand that accounting originated from Middle East. And then,
Okay, sir. So, what role does Luca Pacioli play in the development of accounting?
oh, very good question. As we listened to the main lesson earlier, Luca Pacioli will be referred to as the father of modern accounting. He was the one that first make attempt to put up a concept of double entry, developed from what I've said in the case of the Middle East, that they were just using animals to write the transactions there. But their first attempt to be able to note what is accounting in the name of double entry that we are using today was first noted by Luca Pacioli in 1494. And the section of book that he prepared, the name of the book or title of the book is also they call Summa Arithmetica Geometria Proportionale et Proportionalita, meaning the book of arithmetic, geometry, and proportion. In that book, we have so many things that Pacioli noted in that book, but he created a section that has to do with double entry. And again, I can tell you, again in 1504, that section of book now developed into a chapter that we call accounting book now. On that note, thereafter, let me put it before I conclude, we now have stages, so many things that evolve on activities of Pacioli. The one can then say that Pacioli is the father of modern day accounting, because all other activities, all other concepts of accounting we are having, they evolve in order to resolve whatever needs of the society. It's the same thing that we have today, that we are having various rules and standards being set up. But to capture it, like I said, modern day accounting that evolved today was developed by Luca Pacioli. So having said this, I think I've answered the two questions. And we can then end today's lecture. Thank you.
Summary and conclusion. In this lesson, we learned that modern bookkeeping was developed in 1494 by an Italian monk and mathematician, Luca Pacioli. He was the first to provide a complete description of the double entry system in a book titled Summa de Arithmetica Geometria Proportione et Proportionalita. In the next lesson, you will learn about the users and characteristics of accounting information. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Thank you.